What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski, and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. Today, we're with another PBA bowling breakdown, and this is the 1996 Bud Light Classic. So, let's go. This is the championship match of the 1996 Bud Light Classic. Now, I have never seen any of these players before, ever. I'm sure a lot of you who have seen a lot of the 1990s telecasts probably are somewhat familiar with these two and could probably explain to some people like myself who've never seen these guys a little bit about them in the comment section if you'd like to. Yeah, but wow, that was a big miss. Dadgum. Anyway, so it's actually really nice to see new faces in pro bowling. This is Philip Ringner. I think that's what his name is. And never seen any of these guys bowl. This guy's down and in guy. He's probably going to keep it probably about the fourth board break point. He got that one a little bit inside and fortunate to trip a 4-pin.
Well, Chris, I think he's got a great shot today.
Yeah, he's got that pretty high backswing, and he bends his upper back of his shoulders a little bit forward, and then he just follows through. 5 top 24 appearances, 9 cashes, and 13 tournaments. Oh, that was just an unfortunate break. Shoo-wee. If he would have left that 9-pin, that probably would have been the first time I would have ever seen that. Ball just goes a little high, drives right through the pocket, and fortunate to take out the 9-pin. All right. Easy pickup on the 7-pin. There you go. That must be his son right there. His son is probably like a year or two old by then, so he's probably right at 30 this year. Joe Furpo. Alright. Yeah, again, never seen any of these two guys before. But I think with a lot of professional bowling, I think most people get tired of seeing the same bowlers make the step-ladder finals. I mean, because when you really stop and think about it, there's really not that many full-time professional bowlers on the national tour, like in any decade that you go back on. So it's a lot of, it ends up being a lot of the same, like 5 to 8 guys who end up making the stepladder year by year, depending on what decade you go by. So it is nice to see some new faces, which is why seeing, you know, we've seen a pretty good amount of first-time guys on tour this year so far, and some who haven't had a ton of success beat some of the top 4 and 5 guys over this decade. So it's always nice to see a new face make a title match and to have a chance at their first title.
Saturday afternoon, we'll have that next week. Brunswick World Tournament Champion.
There you go. This guy's pretty much lined up. He just needs to probably move his feet, I'd say about 2 boards to the left, and either keep his same target or just move his eyes about 1 board to the left. First championship round appearance of the year. All right. Yeah, this should be an easy pickup on the 4-pin. There you go. I wonder if these guys had competed on the senior tour.
37-year-old Phil Ringner. Best this year, 10th.
All right. Joe Furpo has been perfect since his opening split. But Reininger, but Philip will, if he continues to keep close frames, he'll keep himself in this, but he's going to need to double up here about the middle of this game. Oh,
our cameraman
I think he got distracted by somebody standing up.
down at the right of the far end of the lanes brought the camera up just about the time he was going to pull the trigger.
Be interesting ruling, Chris. Remember a couple of weeks ago when Bob learned
A lot of the telecasts, especially during this time period, one thing that I've noticed, it feels like the spectators are a lot more. It almost feels like there's more spectators in these events than like now. And oh, they've got cheerleaders this time. Yeah, that's kind of unnecessary to have cheerleaders. Oh, is that the trophy? A white eagle. That's usually like a U.S. Open trophy, except that, you know, it's just like the standard black and white. Oh, yeah, this is one of them where they don't skip commercials, but I'll skip all these. Okay, we're back. Yeah, but what I was saying before is it seems like that there's a lot more spectators in this time period than there are now. Like, they have actual, like, multi-layered bleachers at the back of the bowlers. And then in some of these events, they also have some bowlers actually out on the approach, like on either side of the approach. A lot of what the PBA has done in the last few years is have this giant LED screen at the back of the bowlers, and it plays their name every time when they're up on the approach. And then a lot of the bowlers are just like out in the actual lanes on bleachers. But here you've got bowlers on in 3 sides of the actual stadium itself, or bowling center itself. So that's kind of what makes it feel like there's more spectators during this time.
Like a young Abraham Lincoln.
It almost makes it feel like an arena, which they did bowl in a lot of arenas during this time and even in the early 2000s. It just feels like there's much more people in this. And Joe Firpo definitely got his stride back. I think he's been perfect since the first frame. And that was just a flat 10 by Phillip here.
Ringer does not have the power of a Firpo, so he can't just beat
It seems like right around this time, a lot of bowlers have been putting sponsors on their shirts. Like, they still had normal plain colored polo shirts, but they're like actually having patches on their shoulders and over on the fronts as well. So you're definitely seeing a little bit more of that at this time. But it's still not too common until you get up to like the 2000s. Yeah, Joe Firpo has been perfect since frame 2, and Reininger just, he's hitting the pocket, he's just not getting his ball to carry everything how it should.
He'll throw it almost straight down the second arrow.
Ooh, that was a pretty good shot. Yeah, that was just a can opener strike right there. It looked like it was going to go a little bit light, but it's got just enough axis tilt to where it gets in the pocket. World Gymnastics Championships. They should have stuff like gymnastics and stuff on TV a little bit more often to showcase a lot of the less viewed sports. Joe Firpo's way inside target. His ball roll is sliding all the way to the break point, and when it hits that break point, it almost like freezes and just goes pretty much straight, which that ball motion is similar to my High Road Pearl that I have, and I've used it in a few tournaments this year. The only downside to his ball roll is with him going that far inside and his ball motion rolling like it does. Oh, did he get... Oh, okay. I think people thought it was going to go in the gutter, and it almost did. Well, anyway, his ball motion, that's like a ringing 10 and flat 10 territory. So he might end up putting a little bit more of an angle to his ball so that it finishes in the pocket a little bit more flush, but we'll just see what happens as the match goes on. But just keep making great shots. He's still in the lead by a considerable amount, but he'll need to put a strike here to keep himself in this match. He's got a good push away. Oh, that ball finished nicely. It finished high flush there. The break point was a little bit sooner, and it just finished nicely in the pocket. That could have been his best shot of the match.
We have a different tournament chairman.
And Philip is still down by 17, but if he doubles up here, he can take a slight lead.
Set for the Brunswick World Tournament Champions. Mike Sands and Jim Fessler all helping.
There you go. There you go. Another high flush strike. And now he is down by 7 pins, and he can go up by 3 going into the 8th frame. He's kept a clean game going so far, which is what you want for step-ladder finals. If Joe didn't have that opening split, then he could still be up by double digits by now. So that just comes to show you how important having a clean game is when you're bowling in any match. Look, he took a re-rack.
Number 1.
Buy himself a little bit of time. He also probably didn't like the rack. Maybe a couple pins were off spot. Oh, that one went super light. And that's a second light shot on that lane. And he's got to finish on that lane. So probably what he's going to do is angle his ball to where it is a little bit more left off his hand, and to where it will finish a little bit more flush, because I'm not sure if a shot like that's going to carry the next frame. So he's going to need to make an adjustment when he steps up in the 10th.
Now he can take the lead by 7. Purple.
Going back and forth the whole match. It'll be tight right to the end.
Nice shot. That finished, that's identical to his previous shot on the other lane, and he just retook the lead. But he's going to have an important strike here on his next ball to set up the 10th frame. And this pretty much in a strike in the 9th frame pretty much forces his opponent to get at least the next 3 strikes to have a chance to win. So this is a very important shot here in the 9th frame.
Just who can perform in the clutch for the titles. Here we go.
Oh, I thought that was going to go high, and it left a solid 8 pin. Oh my goodness. That was about as good of a shot that you can throw. Watch this.
There's a certain
Ball gets to the break point, goes high, and drives right by the 8 pin. That stings just about as much as Randy's shot did. But that's not going to cost him yet. I mean, he did everything he needed to do that shot, and just a terrible break. There you go. Just throw your strike ball at it, and that ball will just go right to the 8 pin. Yeah, that's not going to cost him too much unless his opponent can strike out. That one stings right there. But this pretty much forces Philip to strike on this ball to give him the best possible chance in the 10th frame.
This is his biggest shot. His first opportunity to lock up a championship by himself. Here we go.
There you go. That's a pretty good shot. Finishing pretty flush. Now, he moves on to his finishing lane, and the last 2 shots that he had have gone light. So what he needs to do is he needs to make an adjustment to where his ball is going to finish a little bit more flush in the 10th frame. Yeah, this is a really big shot for him, because if he strikes here, he pretty much shuts out his opponent.
He would just need a good count, but this is the big one.
There you go. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he made the adjustment he needed to, but it leaves a nasty ringing 10 pin. 2 great shots by these 2 bowlers and just terrible breaks. Oh my goodness.
Strike there would have just about locked up his first title, but for him, he needs to make this spare. He would maintain a 3-pin lead.
Good night. Yeah, I think he pretty much made a similar adjustment to what I suggested, and it still had bad carry.
The key for him is to get at least 8 pins. 8 is as good as 9 strikes, because it will force Joe.
Okay, Count's pretty important here because it forces his opponent to still close out the 10th frame.
Watch on TV next week.
Sure, the chairman of Leisure Bowling Centers, Arthur Karsatowski.
Yeah, he needs this
We
one.
hope so.
Missed that one way inside. That was definitely his worst shot of the match. That's the first time he went Brooklyn the whole match.
Looked over to verify it. Yep.
Ah, well,
Why take a chance and throw it light and get 6 or 7?
final score 226. Yeah.
What's the situation here, young man?
Simply this: 2 strikes,
Okay.
things for purple. Anything less.
Is that all?
This is the hardest thing to do in all the sports. This is what you practice all those hours for.
Let's see what his opponent does.
Got the ability.
26 shot by his opponent.
All right, went high flush. All right, needs another strike here.
Who has yet to win in 17 years, most prolific non-champion on the tour. Just has to be tormented.
All right, he can finish it out with a 235. He needs this strike in order to win this title. If he does not strike on this ball, then Philip's going to win this title.
Here we go.
Good shot right there. Oh my goodness. Man, it went just a little bit high. Goodness sakes. Man. That one stings right there. He did not get the 4-pin carry that he needed. Wow. All right, there you go. It just ended like that. Okay. Well, so 2 bowlers from 1996 that I have never seen before. But that's the kind of good thing about watching the PBA, is that you never know who's going to win, and it's nice to see new faces make the Step Ladder Finals in a PBA event. And you know what? I don't know where they are at today, but if they're pretty much both retired from the PBA, obviously, but if they're still bowling in some events out there to this day, then I hope they still continue to bowl well. Anyway, guys, so if you have enjoyed my breakdown of this match, then be sure you give this video a like. Also, if any of you have any other suggestions on what other videos that I should make for my bowling breakdowns, then be sure that you comment that as well. And if I like your option, then I'll go ahead and pick it, and I'll just put your name on the screen over here with your comment. And if for some reason some of you are not subscribed to this channel, then go ahead and subscribe so you'll never miss any videos. So I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.